Hello, it's good to be back with you. Today is Tuesday, October 5th, 2021, and our reading today is going to come from a new Puritan. This is from Jeremiah Burroughes, from his book entitled The Saints' Happiness. And we're going to look again at a verse that should be familiar to you. We looked at it just a few days ago, but it's Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit. So let's take a look again at this verse and consider again what it means to be poor in spirit. So let's dive right in. What does it mean to be poor in spirit? If a man is willing in heart to take a low condition, if God shall so please, or if he has many worldly goods, yet he is willing to give them up when God calls for them, he is poor in spirit. His soul says, it is true I have received these good mercies from God, but if the Lord calls for these to give witness to his truth, I am here ready to part with all these outward accommodations. I am willing to live upon bread and water all my days, and to live in a poor condition, as ever a poor creature has lived, to lay aside all my pomp and riches and glory that I have in this world, that the Lord may have any glory by me. Yea, so be it. There is no special grace in a vow of poverty, but we should be willing to lay them down at Christ's feet if he calls for our estate or any comforts we have. If you have been given estates, you may enjoy them. But do you have the disposition in your heart that if you had to make a choice, you would let go your estate instead of denying the least truth of God? Would you rather yield your estate than commit the least sin against your conscience? Do you prize the advance of truth more than living in the joys of this world? Can you bring your heart to this? Why, this is to be poor in spirit, in the midst of all your abundance. Grace consists in the well managing of our estates while we have them, and in the willingness to part with them when God calls for them. The poor in spirit are also willing to take whatever spot God places them in, and not murmur and repine against God, nor envy others that are placed in a higher condition. I am content to apply myself to the duties God requires of me in such a poor and low estate. If you can find your heart submissive to God in this low way, you are blessed, for you are poor in spirit. Amen. That's a really good word. In applying this, something to consider, something we talked about on Sunday. You may not have estates or lots of wealth and riches, but maybe it comes down to your work, and they want you to do something that goes against your conscience. And the question becomes, will you stand for truth? Will you give up these worldly goods, comforts, riches, to stand for God and to stand for truth if he calls you to it? It could be as simple as your corporate work now tells everybody that they need to have a rainbow flag in honor of gay pride on all their emails that are going to go out from their company. And then you as a Christian, you have to make a decision. Are you going to do that? It could be it's time to start listing your pronouns in your emails, something like that. Any of these things come up today in our world. And as Christians, we have a decision to make. Are we going to stand for truth? Are we going to stand for our conscience? Or are we going to give in and just go with the joys of this world rather than stand for the Lord? And these are hard questions. These are hard things that we have to deal with today, unfortunately. But maybe that's something to consider. Let it be a test. Ask yourself, are you willing to let go of estates, riches, comforts to stand for the truth if God calls you to it? So there you go, guys. There's your encouraging word of the day, your challenge, and a little test for us. So go in peace, be with God today, and I look forward to sharing a word with you all tomorrow. God bless. And my mouse is not working, so I can't end the stream. Let me do it this way. All right, take care, guys.